Oh, yes.
Welcome back, everybody. I promised you guys I was going to do this. This is our massive Hasbro Pulse Power Day sale Marvel Legends haul. If you saw my previous haul, that was a Best Buy haul and it was a lot smaller, and it was kind of a little test in the waters thing, a little warm up, a little prelude, as it were, to the big kahuna here. It took about a month for everything to get here. That's how backed up they were because of how many people got in on the sale. It was 40% off on like everything. So I had to take advantage and spend a regrettable amount of money, but a lot less than I would have spent without the sale. So yeah, if you saw my last unboxing, this one's going to be very similar. I got this little intro set here, and then in this case, I'm going to set the box off to the side because it's ridiculously large. And just start kind of taking everything out. I'm gonna try to take everything out in groups. If I have like a certain wave, I'm gonna try to take that all together and just show everything off. Again, this is purely Marvel Legends, so my usual Transformers viewers might be a little disappointed, but realistically, I've been collecting Transformers for so long that I'm probably never gonna have really a haul to do, right? Because I'm always caught up on them, so at most I get a few figures at a time. With the Marvel Legends thing, I just started, so there's a lot of back catalog to go through. And normally I wouldn't have gone nuts spending the money to do this, but with a 40% off sale, it made it a lot more feasible. So, without further ado, I'm gonna take this massive box that probably weighs like 50 pounds. This thing's really heavy. There's so much packed in here. I'm gonna take this, set it down here, open it up, and start pulling things out, and we get to check it out together. So, hope you guys enjoy this and have fun along the way. All right, giant box. Whoa, that's heavy. That's a heavy box. Pop a little bit of tape I had on here to hold this thing together. Get this flat back so it's out of the way. I'm having fun. You guys having fun? Okay, fun. All right. Let me get comfortable here. Okay. So, first things first, let's grab a couple of miscellaneous items, things that aren't part of a wave or anything, they're just their own thing. So the first one, I got this Magneto and Professor X box set. That is the live action Fox Studios Magneto and Charles. What's really cool about this is that it can be either the younger versions or the older versions, right? So your James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, as you see in the packaging, or you can have your Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen versions. So that's really neat. Pretty cool little thing. I was a big fan of the old Fox X-Men movies, particularly the older ones. Right. Another two-pack I have. This is X-Men. You're gonna see a lot of X-Men stuff here. I like X-Men. All right. This is a Rogue and Pyro two-pack. So this represents Rogue in one of her more unique outfits. This is during the Utopia story arc, where she gets this real interesting outfit. And what's pretty neat about this figure, it's kind of one that was in the works for a long time because back when Toy Biz was running the show, they tried to make this figure and it never got off the ground. There's only prototypes of it. One particular change they've made to the design since then is that she doesn't have her shirt zipped almost all the way down because Hasbro probably doesn't want that in a kid's toy. But yeah, this tends to be unzipped and pretty low cut, but they want to be a little more conservative there. Can't talk today. All right, another cool X-Men figure I got. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's the retro carded Beast, but it's the gray version, representing his really old gray appearance, and it's just a gray variant of the regular blue one. Very, very cool. All right, let's see what else we have here. We get Infinity Saga Quicksilver, which will make a really good companion to another figure I'm going to pull out of here during this. But so this is Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. I think this is the only figure they've ever made of him in Legends, and it comes with some Ultron robot parts and stuff. So pretty cool little pickup. They really did this character dirty. The fact that he was in one movie and then died, and hasn't been resurrected or anything since then is kind of a slap in the face, honestly. All right, what else do we have here? I'm trying to do these all at once. So I have a couple of figures from the Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave. So this is another Charles Xavier, the most recent version of the character, where now he can actually walk around. He's got his cool little Cerebro helmet thing that he just wears. And then I have the Omega Sentinel. which comes with 2 different heads. You get like her more robotic appearance and the more humanoid look. Unfortunately, these are the only figures from that wave that they had, so these are the only 2 I have. This will be one of the only incomplete waves that I got in this little haul here. All right, I've got another Infinity Saga figure. This is Thor from Endgame, also known as Fat Thor, just to be blunt. It's the husky Thor, depressed Thor, whatever you want to call him. Cool beard Thor. Whoops. Check out that beard braids, pretty neat. All right. I should have organized this better. Made it easier to actually get like full sets out at the same time. All right, another box set. This one, this is the final piece I was actually waiting on. For some reason, this took so much longer to ship than the other ones. It also shipped from California instead of like the usual Georgia location, which is interesting. Maybe they kind of ran out and they had to fish it from somewhere else. So yeah, this is the Excalibur 3-pack, which is really cool. It's got Captain Britain in the middle. It's got Shadowcat, aka Kitty Pryde from the X-Men. And then it's got, is it just pronounced Megan or Megan? I don't know how you actually pronounce it. But she's like a shapeshifter. Pretty cool. So, got all this stuff. Let's see, any more unique items in here? I believe, so I think this is the only figure I have from this wave. This is our Into the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker. So this is like our middle-aged, depressed, pizza-eating Peter Parker. And he's from the Stiltman Build-A-Figure wave. And I'm pretty sure this is the only figure I got from this wave. Now I have actually acquired the Hand Ninja since this whole sale, but I got that through Entertainment Earth, so I'm not going to include that here. So you get all that. All right. Let's go ahead and clear these out of the way and make room for some other stuff. All right, moving on. Let's start with another wave here. I'll do a complete one now. So this is our Zemnu wave, and it was themed around Marvel's supervillains. So these are all bad guys from Marvel. So this first one is Lady Deathstrike, who's kind of an evil foil to Wolverine. Then we also get Arcade, who is basically the Riddler. It's Marvel's answer to the Riddler. All right. Then we get, this is a cool one. We get Red Skull. So I finally get a Red Skull figure to go with my 20th anniversary of Captain America. Nice little counterpart. And let's see. We have Dormammu, another one I was surprised I was able to get. Now this isn't like the beefiest, coolest looking version of Dormammu. In fact, I'm not sure which version this is supposed to be. He looks a little diminished. Because they have like a huge Build-A-Figure version too, and this guy is just like regular size. But I'm still happy to have a Dormammu, so I have a villain for my Doctor Strange. Yet another one that I was surprised to get a hold of. This is our white outfit Doctor Doom. I don't know why his outfit's white, but it's cool. And he's got this like skull with a spinal column that he can hold up. Look nice and evil. Let's see here. I know I got more. Aha. Then here we have our AIM Scientist Supreme, which will look really good with my MODOK and my AIM Scientist 2-pack that I haven't reviewed yet, but I'm getting to it. And lastly, we have the hood. I have to find the hood. He's hiding from me somewhere. He's buried. There he is. This is probably the weirdest figure, and I think likely the least popular in this wave. The Hood. He's just kind of a straight level villain, kind of a doofus. But he is a Marvel supervillain, so here we go. Spread this out a little bit so you guys can see it all. Look at that, huh? That's pretty cool. So, very, very cool wave. It gets you a lot of really big name villains and then a lot of more obscure ones. So it's a nice healthy mix. Really looking forward to reviewing each of these and doing the whole Zemnu thing. Zemnu is going to be a fun one. I actually had to research him a little bit to learn more about him, but he's actually like one of the oldest Marvel characters out there, even though he's a very obscure one, so that's pretty cool. All right, next, we're going to do another wave. This one, not as cool in my opinion as the last one, but has a pretty cool Build-A-Figure, and it has some pretty cool figures within it. So this is our ShangChi wave from the movie, and this is for the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. So the first one we get is Death Dealer, who's one of the villains from the Shang-Chi movie. We get Wenwu, the main villain of the Shang-Chi movie, formerly known as the Mandarin, formerly known as Fu Manchu. You can see probably why they probably don't want to call him Fu Manchu in today's day and age. Let's see, where are the rest? Note to self, organize the box first. They're hiding here somewhere. Alright, here's another one. We have the Tony Stark AI. So it's really basically just like a retro Iron Man with a clear blue face, representing the AI that communicates with Riri Williams. So that's 3. Let's see. Oh. How did I miss him? He's right at the top. So we have ShangChi himself, the main character of his after-named movie. Where's his sister? I saw her in here. Here we go. So we have Xialing, ShangChi's sister, who's kind of the heir to their father's legacy by the end of the movie. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen that. Alright, then lastly, we need to find old Iron Patriot. Here he is. So this one is interesting because it's the only Gamerverse figure in this wave. Or, sorry, I call him Iron Patriot, sorry, Civil Warrior. Wrong guy. So it's basically, it's like an Iron Man Captain America. So, pretty cool. Nice alternate take on the character. It's got the big old ugly mug of Mr. Hyde there. So there's that wave. A bit smaller than usual because it's only 6 figures. And again, not the most exciting wave out there because, you know, I thought the Shang-Chi movie was like, it was okay. You know, I kind of feel the same way about Shang-Chi as I did the Eternals. Like, not a bad movie, but very much cookie cutter, you know, Marvel Heroes' first movie, like the original Thor and the original Iron Man. But we've seen it so many times now that it's not very exciting anymore. You know what I mean? So, pretty formulaic, not bad, just kind of meh. But I do like the Tony Stark AI, and I do like the Civil Warrior. They're at least, you know, pretty unique and cool. All right, this next wave is another MCU-based one. However, we're moving into the Disney Plus side of things now. So this is, it was like our first general Disney Plus wave, like the non-what if stuff. So we have WandaVision's Scarlet Witch, which is, to this point, the only proper MCU Scarlet Witch figure we have. Like, we have Wanda Maximoff, but, you know, pre, Ascension, I guess. And the Build-A-Figure is actually, like, the flight stand and jetpack and wings and stuff for our new Sam Wilson Captain America. So we have Wanda, definitely one of my must-haves for this wave, because again, it's the only Scarlet Witch we have so far. We have the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky, which is cool. We have Baron Helmut Zemo, which luckily comes with his mask, because otherwise I think this would just be a very boring figure. He's just a guy with a coat, pretty much. So I do like that he has the mask. Glad they included that. Let's see. How can I forget? We got Loki. This is my only MCU Loki figure. I wish he was, you know, something that wasn't just Loki in a suit, but better than no Loki. And I did like the show Loki, don't get me wrong. Like, his outfit may have been very plain for that, considering he was like in the TVA and everything, but he was still really awesome. All right, where are the rest? I know we got more. They're hiding from me. Oh, there we go. So here is our WandaVision White Vision. So this is the, not the one you see for most of the show, but the resurrected Vision who had lost his memory in the beginning. So we have that. And then we should have our Sam Wilson Captain America. Absolute must-have for this wave, because if you don't have him, like, who does the jetpack go to? He's the only one that doesn't include a piece of the Build-A-Figure, but he's also the one who the Build-A-Figure is an accessory for. So you need to have him. And then lastly, we get our U.S. agent, aka Captain John F. Walker. So pretty beefy wave, 7 figures. And it's an interesting concept. They did something similar to this with the Vulture from the Spider-Man Homecoming wave, where the Build-A-Figure isn't a character, but wings for a character. So I think it's a pretty neat idea. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like that they experiment to do something a little different. And I do think it's way more exciting than just a standard size Build-A-Figure like Mantis. At least, you know, even though the Build-A-Figure isn't a character itself, it goes and fleshes out a character to be a very premium figure, so I do appreciate it. All right, moving on, we have another Disney Plus based wave, but instead of being centered around live action, this is centered around the animated What If series, which to me is definitely one of the cooler waves. Aesthetically, it kind of clashes with your live action stuff because it is a little more cartoony looking, but it also gives you some really interesting figures. For example, we have T'Challa as Star-Lord, which is something, you know, just completely out of left field. We have what's called Heist Nebula, which is just Nebula from the same universe as the Star-Lord, where she didn't get like completely roboticized and actually has hair and has a thing for T'Challa there. So she's less of a bad guy in this timeline. We have our zombie hunter Spidey, which is just Spider-Man with Doctor Strange's cape after Doctor Strange got zombified in that universe. And then from that same universe, we have our zombie Captain America, which is probably the coolest looking figure in this wave just because it's so different. Marvel Zombies has been a pretty popular thing, so for them to kind of sort of adapt that into What If is a pretty cool thing. I would have preferred like a proper Marvel Zombie story based on those comics, but at least we got some kind of Marvel Zombies, right? Alright. Then we get our Doctor Strange Supreme, another one of my favorite figures from this wave. You know, it's Doctor Strange at his most powerful when he's absorbed tons of these, you know, cosmic entities and then even like other versions of himself. Just the ultimate Doctor Strange. And honestly, I wish this guy would have made an appearance in the new movie. Like, there is a kind of similar variant of Strange in the movie, but it's not this guy. Not nearly as powerful. And then lastly, no, not lastly, got two more. So we have another animated character, Captain Carter, another very awesome figure in this wave. And, you know, it's if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. Now, it's not part of this wave, but there is a Hydra Stomper toy, like a big old deluxe toy. It's like $55. I do have that. Actually got that as a birthday present here just a few days ago. But it's not part of this haul, so I'm not going to include it here. But it does really help round out this wave and really complete that whole What If collection. Now, lastly, we get a non-animated character in the form of Sylvie from the Loki show. So we got Loki in the other wave there, the other Disney Plus wave, and now we get Sylvie to go with him. So now we get, you know, the two main characters of that show, the two main variants of Loki. And Sylvie I thought was a great character. I love the character, I love the actress that plays her, she did a phenomenal job. You know, she was pregnant like the whole time they were filming that. I found that really interesting. So, you know, props to her for dealing with all the pregnancy stuff and then still being able to get out there and give it her all. It was kind of weird that they took Sylvie, who is an established character in the comics that is separate from Loki. She's like a disciple of Loki. And they kind of just combined her into the female Loki concept because there was like a female Loki in the comics too. So she just kind of serves two purposes, which I'm not crazy about that. I'd rather have just, you know, female Loki and then Sylvie, but she's still great for what she is. Like within the MCU, she's great. So really like this figure. All right, this next wave is not complete, unfortunately. I have most of it, but I'm missing a very key character. So this is our Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave, and the first one we have here is Hologram Iron Man. Just an easy recolor for them to do, but it is still very cool. It looks awesome. It's very icy blue with like the line details and stuff. So it's just a hologram of Iron Man. We have Dark Star, who's, you know, a Russian superhero, anti-hero character. That's very, very cool. She works with, what's his face? The like Black Widow's stepdaddy. You know what I'm talking about. The red guy. We have another Iron Man. This is Modular Iron Man. They're very heavy on Iron Man in this wave. You'll see that. In fact, Dark Star is like the only non-Iron Man character. Well, I guess Ultron technically isn't really Iron Man either. All right. We have our Stealth Iron Man, which is an homage to like the very old Toy Biz figure. That was actually part of the very first wave of Toy Biz. They didn't cover that one in the 20th anniversary because they kind of already did them here and not much else you can do different. And we have the Vault Guardsman, which is another just like armor that was made by Iron Man to think it was made by him as like a sentient suit, if I remember right, and then turned on him. When does that happen, right? Whenever does Tony Stark build a robot and then it, tries to kill him? Crazy, crazy. All right. And then lastly for this wave, we have Ironheart, aka Riri Williams. And as far as that's the only Ironheart figure that's been made so far, though I imagine she'll get an MCU figure here once her show comes out. Or maybe even after she premieres in Black Panther 2, because apparently she's in that one. Alright, so this is most of the wave, and the one you can see is missing here is Ultron. Because Ultron was already sold out before the sale even started, or at least before I logged in and started buying stuff. Maybe he was available briefly, but it's not surprising. Ultron's like a big deal villain, so the fact that he was sold out already, not shocking, and I'll probably hear my sheep out there. They're banging at me because they hear me talking. Yeah, I plan on getting Ultron eventually because, how can I not finish the wave? And hopefully he won't be too expensive. And that'll just be something for the future. So I look forward to getting him and reviewing this wave for you guys. Alright, we are getting down to the bottom of the box now. And these are mostly just going to be unincorporated figures, or figures I don't have like the rest of the wave for. The first one I want to show you, I was actually wrong when I said that the Peter B. Parker was the only Stiltman figure I had. Because I forgot, down at the bottom here, we also have Frogman, who's due to make an appearance in the new She-Hulk show, so hopefully he might get a new updated figure there, but, really goofy character, one of those just lesser-known Rose Gallery types. Still really neat. And then I have a retro-carded Spider-Man Sandman, so another villain to toss at the retro-carded Spider-Man figures. I haven't reviewed them yet, but I have pretty much all of the second wave of Retro Spider-Man. Well, I did review Rhino, who's technically part of the second wave, and then I have the other figures from that wave, and then some random exclusives too, like the Negative Zone Spider-Man. Another retro carded figure I have. This is a standalone one, old Hercules, who just made his debut in the you know what? Never mind. Never mind. Not everybody's seen that movie yet, but he's coming to the MCU. Just gonna say that. Well, Hercules. And now for two big ones. So this first one, this is a cool one. Surtur from Thor Ragnarok. Just this big old giant figure. He was rightfully so, right? Surtur needs to be huge to be in scale. So he's very, very tall, really cool looking. Something that I wasn't sure I was gonna pick up because he is pricey, but seeing him on sale, I couldn't turn it down. Right now, lastly, make some room here. Big heavy thing. I think this is probably the most expensive item out of this whole thing. Pretty sure it is. This is our Infinity Saga Obadiah Stane and the Ironmonger suit. So all the way back to the first Iron Man movie, the first entry in the MCU, they finally gave us proper figures of Stane and his armor. Now, it's a shame you can't actually go in the armor. That'd be really cool, but the engineering to make that work would be ridiculous. I do wish that the Ironmonger at least had the option to switch to Stane's head. I don't think it does, because I'm pretty sure they use a different size ball and socket. But it would be really cool to be able to let Obadiah's head stick out from the suit, since he was very fond of showing his face, despite that being a total tactical blunder that cost him his life. In fact, him and Whiplash from Iron Man 2 made the same exact mistake. They're in this super strong suit of armor, and then they pull the helmet back to gloat, and then they get blasted in the face and die. You'd think they would know better, but apparently they were so determined, monologue and sneer at Iron Man, that they were willing to die for it. So, yeah, not very smart on their part. All right, so that is it. That is the end of my giant 50-pound box. So, yeah, this was quite a haul. Not going to say how much this ran me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. Just know I'm working a lot of overtime to pay for all this. But it was still really cool. I wasn't planning on going all crazy, collecting a backlog of figures. But when you can buy so much for so little, so quickly, I just had to go in on it and just commit myself to pulling some extra time at work to, make that happen. So yeah, this was really fun. Very excited. I've been waiting so long to do this video for you guys, like so long. It took a month to get this stuff out here, and it's really a shame it did. But yeah, they were really backlogged. Apparently, a lot of people were jumping on the sale, and it took them a long time to finally fulfill everything. Some longer than others, like myself, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a little disorganized, I know. It was very long, but yeah, it's a lot of toys. But I enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys did too. Hopefully you want to see more stuff like this, because I don't mind doing unboxing videos and, mixing up the content a little bit. I know that like 95% of my content is toy reviews, which is, there's a reason for that, but also it can maybe get repetitive. So I do want to mix things up here and there and just do something kind of fun. And people do tend to like unboxings because there's that excitement, that mystery of like, oh, what's in the box? So yeah, let me know if you want to see more of these. I know the reception on the other one was overwhelmingly positive. General idea was like, hey, we like the unboxing. Not sure that I care about Marvel Legends. I wish you did Transformers, and I kind of already addressed that. If I can make a Transformers unboxing happen, I will, because I know that is obviously the main draw of the channel. We are the TF collector, Transformers collector, right? But just know those will probably be very few and far between, because I just get the Transformers as they come out. So unless I want to spend a fortune collecting like a bunch of G1 toys at a time or something, there's not going to be too many very big hauls. But I'll see what I can do. I'll try to make it work, because I know that the vast majority of the people that come to the channel are here for the Transformers stuff. But I hope the people that are here for the Marvel stuff are happy, or the people that aren't normally here for Marvel but are just happy enough to watch and be a little entertained and just see a big old unboxing. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. So yeah, that's really all there is to say. I really just look forward to you guys' feedback and look forward to doing the next one. And I suppose, with all that said, I will see you guys next time.